Good morning, everyone. This is Daniele Capezzone, a view from Italy, the Watcher Post from the Utopia Studios in Rome. And it is a pleasure to have with us Miss Rawan Radwan, Arab News Regional Correspondent. Good morning, Miss Radwan. How are you? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Pleasure to meet you too, Daniel. Thank you for having me, and good afternoon from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
And why this conversation? Because we are in the middle of the G20 in Rome, as you know, and Italy and Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have been working side by side as members of the G20 Troika. First, Saudi Arabia as current chair and Italy as upcoming chair, and then Italy as current chair and Saudi Arabia as past chair. So, Mr. Radwan, my first question, what do you get from this kind of experience, this cooperation between your country and Italy?
Well, as you know, that last year, G20, the exceptional year, of course, of COVID-19, we've exchanged a lot of information. We've exchanged a lot of experience between our two nations. And we've also learned from Japan, where they held the previous 2019 presidency. So there's a lot of exchange of information and technology. And in terms of the requests and the requirements for the SDGs, every country will take whatever they can and apply it to their own SDG requirements and update them and basically develop them for a better future for both nations and for also the world.
The key words of the G20 are people, planet, prosperity. And these words have a lot in common with the key elements of Vision 2030, which is the plan for the future of your country. What can you tell us about this plan?
Well, it's pretty simple. You said it yourself, people, prosperity, and the planet. So Vision 2030's main elements are made by the people and for the people. And in return, also have a position to impact on a regional scale and a wider scale, which is our home planet. If one element is missing from the three, it simply just won't do. The people's welfare and prosperity go hand in hand. And in order to ensure that, we need to take care of our home planet. And we're starting from our own home country.
So let's start from the people once again, and let's come to your country, where, as everybody knows, the young represent the lion's share of the population. What can you tell us about that and about the social changes which have been happening in your country?
Well, as you know, Saudi Arabia is a pretty young country. So over 60% of our population is under the age of 35. Saudi Arabia is witnessing and has been witnessing a huge wave of growth and transformation in the past couple of years. And the social changes have been happening for a while now. Pushed further, of course, when King Salman took office and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. We have a program such as the Quality of Life program launched in 2018, and it aims to improve the lives, of not only the Saudis, but also residents alike. So we have changes such as women driving, large entertainment events. We have that's just some of the changes that you see from the outside. But if you do come to Saudi and if you're a resident of the kingdom, you are living the change. So we have unemployment initiatives, we have training, we have skills, we have education, whether for the young or for the older. Men and women alike are working in jobs such as art curators, baristas, educators, whatever they want, they can get. The country is there to support, the government is there to support, and many initiatives are there to just help elevate the living standards of Saudis and residents alike. I mean, something as simple as tourism, for example, you would think that Saudi Arabia is closed to tourism, but it's quite the opposite. Last year alone, up until March, just before the pandemic, we had over 400 tourist visas issued. I mean, we can't compare it to Italy, which is a main destination for tourism in the world, but we're opening. And just last night, we heard that by 2028, we want to welcome over 1 million cruise ship passengers to Saudi Arabia. I mean, Saudi Arabia is just there for everyone to come and visit, and we're living the change, and we want people to come and live the change with us. It's widely accepted. It's needed. It's wanted. So yeah, it's a great time to be in Saudi Arabia right now.
Let's skip to planet. What about the Saudi Green Initiative Summit and the Middle East Initiative Summit? I've heard about some ambitious targets, that is to say, have a sort of decarbonization by 2060 and other targets. What can you tell us about that?
Well, this is a huge initiative. Both initiatives that were launched or announced, in April 2020, April of this year, Um, this is a very ambitious and very achievable plan. Why? For the longest time, many countries and organizations have been trying to reduce the carbon footprint. We've all been there. We've all heard the stories of the water being polluted, the air being polluted, and the ground, of course. And for many, for a long time, that plan was working. For some nations, that plan was working, but on a smaller scale. I mean, it wasn't making or creating a significant large scale impact. And then Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's initiatives, both the Saudi Green Initiative and the Middle East Initiative, the sheer size of them and the number of programs that will launch because of that will further expand, to further beyond the MENA region. And it's a balancing act here. So you have, for example, we have the global fight to against effort against fighting climate change. Each element of the program is placed there to balance everything out. So you want to reduce CO2 emissions from companies and factories. So what do? You do that, and you also increase the green spaces, bin afforestation initiative. You're using AI, you're using drones to distribute seeds in the deserts, and you have smaller communities, such as, here in the cities and the towns, that are planting trees in their city's park. So we have a lot of things going on, and I think that we're leading by example. We're leading by example. I mean, just for example, NEOM just announced a research project that talks about coral reef that are resilient to climate change. That experience can be exchanged and can be relayed to other research centers, and other research centers, let's say in Australia, in New Zealand, in the Polynesian and Caribbean islands, can benefit from that. We're expanding, we're doing more, and whatever footprint we're making here in Saudi Arabia will be felt across the world.
Last but not least, prosperity. I've heard the expression thriving economy, and I've heard about some visionary projects such as The Line. Will you help us understand something more about that?
Well, if you'd like to speak a little bit more about The Line, it's basically going green. It's basically reducing the carbon footprint and relying on clean energy, solar energy, electric energy. You're literally moving away from oil and anything from anything oil related technology, and you're doing it in a way that is an advancement of the technology. You're bringing in all the best of the best companies and applying it into a small area such as NEOM, northwest of Saudi Arabia. You're not going to be needing to use the cars. You can travel from one area or one section of NEOM to the next using electric metro systems, for example. It's as simple as that. You don't need anything gas or oil related to generate such a city. You can use you can use the land itself. You can use solar energy, wind energy, water energy, just to operate a city, empower a city such as NEOM.
Another question. You are a journalist. How did all these changes, these economic changes, social changes, technological changes, have impacted the journalistic environment?
Well, I can tell you that there's a lot more content today than ever before, and we need more journalists on the ground, live on air and behind the scenes to tell it all. It's a great time to be a journalist in Saudi Arabia, and there are so many stories to tell. You want to tell a story about a million olive tree farm initiative in the north of Saudi Arabia to a banana tree farmer in the south of Saudi Arabia. You want to talk about AI, you want to talk about hackathons, you want to talk about tourist sites. You have it all, and we want more of that out in the world. It's a great time to be a journalist because I can't really keep up. There's just so much going on, and you just want to show everything to everyone. As a reader myself as well, I like to learn about other countries, and I like to learn about other different situations and different things that are happening around the world. So I'd like to do the same for my own country, and a lot of journalists here in Saudi Arabia feel the same way. We're out here and we are telling the story of Saudi Arabia.
Let me thank you once again. My final question. There is a sort of elephant in the room, and which is represented by the perception of Saudi Arabia all over the world, especially in the Western world, by the Western media. What can be done to improve your country's perception all over the world, or to help the Western world, the Western media, the Western audience to avoid misperception? Please be sincere. What can be done on both sides to improve this situation?
Well, I'd like to start with home. All right. What we're doing is amazing. Our achievements speak for themselves. We've come a long way and we've opened our doors, and we welcome all to come and see Saudi Arabia. As a journalist, I'm here to tell the story of Saudis. I'm here to tell the stories of the achievements of Saudis generally. But I think the misconception and the unfortunate case there is, for example, Saudi Arabia is fully dependent on oil. Not really. We're looking for to derive away, to move away from that. People don't really see that. How about you come and see our achievements and see where we're going and what we're doing in order to achieve that goal? I think from the outside perspective, I think people need to come to Saudi Arabia. We're here and we're opening our doors again. But also, how about maybe read from the right sources? Talk to a Saudi, reach out to Saudis. Social media today and advancement in technology generally has connected us all. So there's no excuse. I believe we reached a point in time, and with technology advancements, it's allowed people to get an outside view into a country that was once not as open as we are now. So I just think that, if you're a curious person and you have a curious mind and you are able to travel, come and see us. The people is what makes Saudi Arabia what it is. And we also we're travelers. We do like to travel. And, if you ever meet someone or meet a Saudi in the street, just come and say hi and get to know a little bit about us, change that misconception, change that perception of us.
Thank you once again for your answers and comments. It was a pleasure. For today, our time is over, but we will be talking once again about these issues. Thank you, Rawan Radwan. Thank you to all our viewers and listeners. See you next Friday here in View from Italy.
Thank you.